Pioneer Press that the Kevin Love trade is, quote, likely to happen by August 23rd or August 24th. August 23rd is the first day Andrew Wiggins is eligible to be traded. Taylor added, quote, I'm saying it's most likely because Kevin has made it pretty clear that that's what he wants to do. Wiggins said Sunday he isn't taking his name being mentioned in trade talks as, quote, personal. Let's listen.
You know, I just want to play for a team that wants me. So whichever team wants me, I'll play for. You just can't take it personal. And, you know, you can't be listening to everything everyone says. And, you know, just got to listen to the people that really know what's going on, like your agent or the GMs on the team or the coaches on the team. You know, you can't really listen to the outside sources.
We had Wiggins on the show when he did a tour. I don't know if you had him on your radio show.
I did.
Very mature young man. He's saying all the right things. I do feel the maternal instinct comes out. Poor baby. So, like, I just feel like he, you know, I feel kind of. Listen, I know he's going to the bank, and I know he's going to get paid.
I like the boo-boo face you gave him.
Do you feel bad? Not really, but do you feel bad for Wiggins?
No, because Andrew Wiggins is going to be fine. No matter who wants him and wants to give him love, he's going to be okay because this could be the best motivation for him because all of a sudden, the Cleveland Cavaliers didn't think I was going to be a star enough next to LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Yeah, I'm going to make those blankety blanks pay when they trade me to the Minnesota
blanks. Watch your language.
I always do. I'm going to make them pay when I go to the Minnesota Timberwolves because it's going to clearly be his team along with Ricky Rubio. But let's be honest, it's going to be his basketball team. Not saying that he would not have accepted that in Cleveland. You get a chance to play alongside LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Not a lot of guys are going to pass that up. But feeling bad for Andrew Wiggins when, A, you're still going to be in the NBA, B, you've already signed a shoe contract with Nike, so that money's rolling in, and C, now you go to a team in which you're going to be the guy. He's always felt that he could be the guy. Now he gets a chance to prove it early and often. So feeling bad for Andrew Wiggins, and he's going to play in the NBA anyway?
Right.
Nah, I'm not feeling bad for the son of Mama Wiggins.
Okay.
No.
Why does it always have to be about the bank and the money?
Why?
Can't we just
You know why? When people say, why does it have to be about that? It's because it is.
Well, why can't we just compartmentalize this and say, okay, yes, he's going to get paid, but B, the kid is in limbo, and that's terrible for anyone. You wouldn't like to be
professional limbo.
I've been in limbo, but no one felt sorry for me.
No, that's not true. You don't know that. I'm sure there are plenty of people who supported you in those situations,
I
right?
don't know. They kicked me to the curb immediately.
Oh, come on, man. So that's just kind of my thing. I'm like, this, and okay, maybe you were an adult in those situations. This is a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 18 years old, and he's having to deal with all this nonsense, and I think that Carrie said it best. He is handling it well. He's handling it professionally. So I just think that we can compartmentalize these things. Yeah, he's going to get paid, and he'll be all right in the long run. But B, right now, what he's going through kind of stinks.
Kinda.
But to your point, what he said and how mature you said he was, that's why I really don't feel sorry for him, because he's not feeling sorry for himself.
Oh, that's not true. You don't know what he's like behind closed doors. We don't know that.
Based on Mama Champion, maybe he should feel sorry. Maybe we should feel more sorry for him.
Feeling sad.
I'm sure that he's feeling sad, but he has the kind of demeanor where he's like, you know, I'm going to make this work no matter what's going to happen. If I stay in Cleveland, the trade doesn't work out, if I go to Minnesota. I think he has that kind of maturity, and I think having his dad, who played in the NBA, is a huge, huge factor to say, you know what, son, it's a business. And these things happen, it's a business. It's happening to you early than anybody else probably in the history of the NBA, maybe. But you know what? You're going to make it work. You're going to be fine when it's all said and done.
Freddie, that's what he's saying on the outside, and I commend him for saying that. But on the inside, you know he's got to be thinking, hey, man, why doesn't LeBron want to play with me?
Yeah.
Why didn't he include me in that letter? He's Deion Waiters and Tristan Thompson. Like, what? He's the number one overall
He wanted to be in the letter? He wanted to be paid?
You would think, right?
Just,
I mean, come on. Put the man in the letter. Listen, there are conspiracy theorists out there who believe that letter was crafted carefully.
Oh, of
and there's
course.
a reason he wasn't in there.
So we've gone from money to love letters.
Well, hey,
Dear Andrew, sorry I don't want to play with you.
Everybody,
peace and love, LeBron.
Everybody likes their ego to be stroked. You know this.
That's very fair, but there are certain people that they bypass that immediately. And based
when you're 18?
He had to deal with this at Kansas, George, because plenty of people stroking his ego, wanted him to be interviewed, and he went to Bill Self's coach and said, do I really have to do all this? I just want to focus and concentrate on basketball. He had that maturity back then to realize, you know what, all that stuff is great, but if I'm not producing on the basketball court, nobody's going to want to talk to me. I think, not trying to compare situations, but if he had enough maturity to go to his coach and say, you know, do I really have to do this, or how much do I have to do? He's going to be fine with this. And now he gets a chance to go to Minnesota. It's a lot. Who knows? Maybe he'll opt out of his contract and go back to his native Toronto. And then we say, oh, how dare Andrew Wiggins do this? Then we'll be crushing him. And then we'll say his maturity will really come into focus when guys like you are probably going to crush him.
Right, but here's the thing. I'm not going to crush him. I think he's going to be unbelievable. And he's defensive ready right now to play in the NBA. But here's the thing. Just because he can handle it doesn't mean that that it doesn't stink for him. And that's the question: is do you feel bad for
I don't
Andrew
feel
Wiggins?
bad for Andrew
I
Wiggins.
do.
You feel bad for the reasons.
I'm not saying you should feel bad. I'm just telling you that. Again, that's the question. It's not that if he can handle it.
Right. It's like, do you
feel bad?
I don't, because I'm a meaner cuss than both of you guys.
Yes,
that's
you
why.
are.
I'm Mr. Mean on this program right now because
you're like the Simon Cowell all of a sudden.
Oh. Now that's insulting now,
right.
George.
What? That man's making money.
I don't want to make money that way.
Okay. Well, you were talking about the bank earlier.
The bank is one thing. I'm all about the money for people getting more money. I don't want to walk down and say people throw stuff at me. I don't want that to happen.
They love Simon Cowell, too, though.
Well, look, back in July,
on the outside.
Wiggins signed an endorsement deal with Adidas.
Yeah.
So
Adidas, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Adidas, and he'll make $5.5 million this season. So
See?
not too shabby for an 18-year-old.
See?
His name was not in the letter, but they still want him. We're talking about Kevin Love. So as mentioned earlier,
that would have been funny if it would have been in the letter.
Yeah, and Kevin, I love to play with Kevin Love. Wait a minute, bro, what are you talking about?
Fantastic.
So August 23rd and 24th, we believe Kevin Love will be a member of the Cavaliers. Does that automatically make them the favorites in the East?
Yes, I think it does. I think only because we still don't know what Derrick Rose is going to look like, even though he has looked very good with Team USA. And there's still some pieces there that we don't know about. Like, we don't know about Mirotic. We don't know about,
Pau
Gasol, what he's going to look like. Right, we don't know some of these pieces are going to look like at this stage of their careers, or in Mirotic's case, because he's never played in the NBA. Doug McDermott, I know Brian said that he's looking fantastic right now, and I think he will fit with that system. But what does he bring to the table?
Right.
It's basically right now, you know what you can count on with Joakim Noah. The rest of the stuff, there's some questions. Though I do believe that Chicago will be the challenger to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that, look, I know a lot of people will automatically dub them as the winners of the Eastern Conference. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight because
them and the Cavs, you mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that Chicago and Tom Thibodeau and those guys, they play defense. That's always going to be the thing that travels with them. We don't know what David Blatt is like. We know what Tom Thibodeau brings to the table, and that's defense. And it got them 48 wins last year with a team that had no business winning 48 games. So I think that Chicago will be a bigger thorn in their side, in Cleveland's side, than most think. But I do think the Cavs should be the favorite at that point.
They will instantly be the favorites, and believe me, when I'm a big believer in you fear the known and leave the unknown alone. I'm with George. I think Andrew Wiggins is going to be terrific. I already know Kevin Love's going to be terrific because he's been terrific with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and now he's going to a basketball team, which he's playing with a basketball savant of LeBron James, a guy in Kyrie Irving who is going to benefit greatly from playing with both of these guys. And Cleveland already has an Andrew Wiggins on their basketball team. His name is LeBron James. He's an older, bigger, better version of Andrew Wiggins because he's played in the NBA. They don't have a Kevin Love on their basketball team. You have a guy with that kind of size who can rebound, who can throw great outlet passes, who is a very willing passer and can make shots inside and outside. They don't have that guy on their roster right now. So you bring him to that team. Now you got an inside-out attack. You have Kyrie Irving that'll benefit greatly from getting in those gaps and finding those passes from either one of those guys. Chicago, I think, is going to be terrific. Tom Thibodeau, to me, if he's not the best coach in the NBA, but he's in that elite level as far as I'm concerned.
Top five
NBA
guy.
coach.
Yeah.
Oh, without question. I mean, Greg Popovich is #1, but Tom Thibodeau, he's no slouch in the ring.
Yeah.
And that's the one guy that can take unknown pieces and make them work. The health of Derrick Rose, Doug McDermott from the outside, Pau Gasol bringing his championship experience. But when you have a team like that in Cleveland, even though David Blatt's an unknown, I trust that team, when it's all said and done, will have the best record in the Eastern Conference. Adding a piece like Kevin Love makes all the difference in the world.
Can I ask you guys this? You guys say that Kevin Love immediately makes them, favorites in the East. But what about all the talk that Kevin Love is overrated?
Well, here's that. That's what I was going to get to here. Now, I don't necessarily think
George's a numbers guy, so I know he's going to have something good.
I don't necessarily think he's overrated.
Yes.
He's a top 5 PER guy, player efficiency rating in the league. But in the fourth quarter, he's not that guy.
Right.
He has been really bad in the fourth quarter. Now, look, you can attribute some of that to the fact that everybody knows who's getting the ball at the end of games in Minnesota. That won't be the case in Cleveland. But here's some of my questions. How is Kevin Love going to feel if he's the second or third option on a team? People remember Miami struggled a bit out of the gate, right? With Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, they had to kind of figure out their roles. Kevin Love is not going to be 26-13 in Cleveland.
Right.
So as much as I think they're the favorites, there's going to be an adjustment period there. Kyrie Irving health issues, number one. He's been a guy who's been dinged up over the last couple of years. And here's the other thing. On the floor, he's not a great catch-and-shoot type of guy. Now, he can hit the gaps. Dwayne Wade was a guy that was able to do that, adjust his game to LeBron, hit the gaps, baseline passes, things of that sort, and be able to be effective that way. Can Kyrie do that? We don't know yet.
Right.
We know he's certainly not a good spot-up guy. That's not his forte. That's not his strength. He's had the ball in his hands a lot. How is he going to be able to play off the ball? So those are some questions, even though I think that they're the front runner, they're the favorite in the Eastern Conference with Kevin Love.
I think the catch-and-shoot guy will be Kevin Love because his three-point percentage has been outstanding for a big guy where they can run pick and pop with him, whether it's with Kyrie Irving or with LeBron James. So you're right. Kyrie Irving's going to have to improve that point of his
But what does
basketball
does he
game.
get? Does he get lost in the offense? Then is the question.
That's a very fair question.
Yeah.
I think if you have a guy like LeBron James, that if you're open, he'll
good.
find you with the ball. As I like to say, he throws people open when he makes passes to him. If you have a step on your guy and your hands are up, unless you love getting hit in the head with a basketball a lot of the time, he's going to find you and he's going to make everybody better because his unselfishness is usually that's pretty much something. Okay, if our best player is willing to be unselfish with the basketball, then I can't be selfish with the basketball.
Right.
Then you have more of a team concept. I still think having a guy like Kevin Love, you're right. He's not going to be 26 and 13, but you don't have to worry about that he's the sole guy getting the ball in the fourth quarter because now you have two other guys that will be able to step up and make plays with him.
No, I agree. And I think that, look, the question becomes about being able to cater your game to playing with new guys.
You have to make adjustments.
It's not as easy. Like,
You're
think
right.
about it. The Boston Celtics were really the team that was able to do that. They did it in the first year. They played great out of the gate. They hit a little rough patch somewhere like every team does in the NBA. But for the most part, they're one of the few teams that was able to get it done immediately. Miami struggled a bit. We saw what happened to your Lakers. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
With Dwight and
Condolences.
Steve.
Everyone just condolences.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
I get it.
But there have been teams that have been put together that it didn't work out as quickly as we saw with Boston. So there's going to be a learning curve here. That's for Kyrie. That's for Kevin. And even LeBron. Though LeBron, I think you could put him on any team and he'll figure it out. But those two guys are used to having the ball in their hands a lot, and that's going to be an adjustment.
And that'll be the adjustment for him, but they could do it. All right, gentlemen, well done. When we come back, some golf. You golf?
No.
Okay. You golf?
Miniature.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. Tiger